What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So I got Erickson Lubin in Bakhram. I do not know I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life, but I know his first name. Bakhram in the news. IBF super welterweight champion, Bakhram, that is. Looks like they're trying to get a fight made between the two, and I think this is actually a really good fight for Bakhram, but not a good fight for Erickson Lubin. At one particular time, I was like hella interested in Erickson Lubin. Like, I wanted to see him against everybody, but that was at a time where 154 was dangerous, but not as dangerous as it is now. That was at the time where you had, Erickson Lubin, you had Jermell Charlo. Obviously, we saw what happened with him and Jermell Charlo, but you just had it was a good division. But at this particular moment, I just don't know if Erickson Lubin can. I don't think he can beat this dude. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't think his chin will permit it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the article, and then I'll drop more of my opinion. Shout out to the Boxing News app. If y'all haven't downloaded that, y'all should download that. It says I don't know this dude. I would just call him Bakhram, but it says Bakhram Lubin targeted for early fall. IBF junior middleweight king Bakhram, I don't know his last name, Murtala whatever, is headed for a compulsory defense against Florida puncher Erickson Lubin after the sanctioning body ordered the bout to be staged no later than November. Promoter Kathy Duva, if I'm not mistaken, I think she promoted what's that dude, Sergey Kovalev, confirmed that talks with TGB Tom Brown began Tuesday morning, pivoting from an abandoned bid to secure an exception for late summer clash with Josh Kelly. Bakhram lifted the title on the road against Jack Hukley and stamped his authority by dropping former WBO champion Tim Tszyu 4 times en route of a third-round knockout last October in Florida. If y'all haven't watched that fight, I advise y'all to. It's not that long, but that's when I realized this dude is really scary. But anyways, Lubin meanwhile has rebuilt with 3 straight wins since falling to Sebastian Fedor, most recently stopping Adriel Holmes in the 11th round. Now, while that's true, I definitely feel like he lost the fight against Jesus Ramos. Shout out to Jesus Ramos. Shout out to Casa Grande. I definitely feel like Jesus Ramos beat dude in that fight, but I mean, whatever, they gave it to him, but whatever, I'll talk about that later. Duval had hoped to fit the Lubin fight before the champions Ramadan break next February, while Saudi backer Turki Al-Sheikh even floated an offer for unbeaten Virgil Ortiz Jr., rejected by the Ortiz team. Why the fuck? Bro, see, I'm not getting that shit. Why the hell do they continue to do that, bro? Like, Golden Boy is like, they're the kings of like getting their fighters in a position to fight for a title and then ducking the champion. Like, they're just like, I don't understand that. That's like the 3rd time I believe Ortiz has done that. I think that's the 2nd time he's done that. I know he had rejected an offer to fight Terrence Crawford at 147. Now they rejected the offer to fight Bakhram. I know Ryan Garcia at 135, when Devin Haney had the WBC champion or title, Ryan Garcia was Devin Haney's mandatory. They didn't want Ryan Garcia to fight Devin Haney at the time. What's the other fighter that they had? They had another fighter at 160 that avoided Demetrius Andrade and Zanabic. And he moved. Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia was mandatory for Demetrius Andrade. He didn't want to fight. They didn't want him to fight Demetrius Andrade, and he was mandatory for Zanabic. They didn't want to make that fight. Like, they're just notorious for doing that. I don't understand why they do that. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, they rejected it because of the IBF strict 10-pound fight day rehydration cap. With time ticking and mandate firm, all roads now lead to Bakhram versus Lubin for early autumn and the division's latest champions test. I like this fight, I really do. Now, again, I don't think this is a good fight for Erickson Lubin. And it just sucks because Erickson Lubin has a pretty good resume. A lot of people mix up popularity with talent, but Erickson Lubin has been in there with some really talented guys or whatnot, right? But I'm afraid Erickson is at such a stacked division. I kind of feel like he's gonna have that Andre Dirrell symptom, where Andre Dirrell was a magnificent fighter. I mean, great, talented fighter. Should have really had a victory over Carl Froch, beat Arthur Abraham. Like, he just a talented fighter, but he never became a world champion. And I kind of feel like that's what's gonna happen with Erickson Lubin. I feel like this dude he's very talented, but because I can't, for one, again, I don't think that he beat Jesus Ramos, but I don't know if dude can take this guy's punch. And we've seen Erickson Lubin be very chinny in the past. Now, that's not to say that he, you just never know in the sport of boxing. He could fight for a vacant title against a no-name. But, I don't know. As of right now, the division is way too stacked. And as a matter of fact, I can just to reiterate all the big names or dangerous names in this division, let's go ahead and go over that to see which guys he can beat, or which guys I feel like he can beat and which guys I feel like he can't. All right, so at 154 pounds, there we go. Obviously, you got Bakhram Murtazaliev at the IBF, and then even you got even in that, just in that organization itself, number one is Erickson Lubin. I never understood why they have number 2 not rated. Like, I don't understand that. Just move whoever is number 3 up to number 2. Why do they have a number 1 and number 2? Nobody's ranked at number 2, and then they have a number 3. I still to this day won't ever understand that. But Sergey Boychuk, that's a tough fight, right? Conor Benn, I don't think that he's gonna compete at 154. I think he said he was gonna drop back. Now, he actually did an interview with Shakur Stevenson, trying to fight Shakur Stevenson. Dude is such a clown at times. Anyways, Jesus Ramos. I thought Jesus Ramos beat Erickson Lubin. Keith Thurman, both of them are from Florida. I don't know if they'll really fight each other. Charles Conwell, dude actually fought my dude Zeke a few years ago, or in the amateurs a few years back. But that's another good fight, even though he's coming off of a loss. Then you got Terrence Crawford, who owes the WBA. Then you got Yanis Tellez, or whatever, the Cuban, who has the great value WBA. That's a tough fight. I don't know if he can beat dude. I know he can't beat Terrence Crawford. I'm sorry, I don't see that happening. Israel Madrimov, that's a tough fight. I think he beat Terrell Boucher already. Yeah. Sebastian Fundora has the WBC. We saw what happened when they fought. Virgil Ortiz, the way Virgil Ortiz fought Israel Madrimov, I don't think Erickson Lubin wants that smoke with Virgil Ortiz. And then, let me see, the WBO has been vacant. You got Xander Zayas. I think that's a winnable fight for Erickson Lubin. I think Erickson Lubin can beat Xander Zayas, I really do. But it's just, it's a stacked division. I don't really know. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. Maybe he can go because he's ranked number 4 in the WBO, and Terrence Crawford is moving up to 168 to fight Canelo. Obviously, maybe he can fight for the WBO. I do feel like, because Xander Zayas is ranked number 1, I do feel like that's a winnable fight. Xander Zayas actually fought my dude DeMarcus or whatnot, but I do think that's a winnable fight for Erickson Lubin. Maybe he can fight dude, but I do feel, I would love for Erickson Lubin to get a title shot. Get a title, but him fighting Bakhram, that's gonna set him back, because I don't see him beating Bakhram. I think Erickson Lubin is a very talented fighter, but bro, we saw what happened. And styles make fights. Obviously, I think Erickson Lubin is more talented than Tim Tszyu, but again, his chin, I don't trust his chin 100%. As far as Bakhram goes, go for it. If he stops Erickson Lubin, that's a good name on his resume, and especially after beating Tim Tszyu. So you're working your resume up, and that's very good. And then, but Unfortunately for him, the way he fights, I don't know if people really just hop in there with him to unify. You got Tim Tszyu finna rematch Sebastian Fundora, and I think Tim Tszyu will actually win the rematch this weekend. I don't think Tim Tszyu gonna go back to fight dude and get stopped again. And Sebastian Fundora has talked about fighting Bakhram, but I highly doubt it. I don't know. Both of them are with the PBC, so I mean we can see how that works out. Hopefully it does work out, but I mean, so far I would pick him Bakhram to be the front runner in the division right now, bro. I don't know what Jermell is doing, but I told y'all a long time ago he was. I told you when he fought Canelo, he was gonna be. He's gonna take a long layoff. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you see winning this fight, and what do you see for the winner? But what do I know?